Hey guys, I wanted to go ahead and talk about how I landed my cybersecurity job that pays me $120,000 per year. Now this video isn't to talk about me flexing or anything like that. I wanted to go ahead and share my journey on how I became a cybersecurity engineer and how you can become one too with these few tips and tricks. So if you go ahead and stick through the whole video, I'll go ahead and share that with you. So let's go ahead and get started. How I started my IT career was that I went ahead and joined the military. When I joined the military, I ended up getting a help desk technician position. And during that time, I ended up getting a clearance along with that. So I was, working on military programs. I had to go ahead and get a few certifications. The very first one was A+, and the second one was Security Plus, and I pretty much got those within a couple months between each other. When I came back from my training, I went ahead and just kept applying to tons of positions, and it took me a little bit to go ahead and get my first cybersecurity position. Luckily, I was able to go ahead and say that my military time was also my experience, so that helped me out a lot as well. When I went ahead and told my one friend that I ended up getting Security Plus, he knew someone that, had a job opening for a cybersecurity position. So I went ahead and applied for that, worked at that job for a couple of years. And during that time, I really did not like that job because it just pigeonholed me into a very specific role that I didn't care for, which was account management that I wasn't even supposed to be doing. Like, I was supposed to go ahead and audit the whole system and accredit systems, but I was sitting there making accounts. So for me, strategically, I had to go ahead and figure something else out. So when I had that, a couple years of experience in that first job, that helped me a little bit. And when I was trying to look for a new position, it was hard for me to go ahead and do that. So the way I ended up getting my current position that I have now that pays me $120,000 a year, I went ahead and literally just asked people around, like all throughout the area that I worked in, seeing if their company had any job openings for any security positions. This one manager said, he's like, I don't know if they have any security positions per se, but let me go ahead and give you a referral for one of the company outings that they're doing, or a job fair basically. I went ahead and went to the job fair, talked to a bunch of managers who was in the space, and that really helped me. And I feel like that was the best case, because before I had even done that, I was going ahead and applying to stuff online constantly, and I wouldn't hear anything back. So my number one tip, if you're trying to get into the cybersecurity space, is go ahead and get certifications. And then in the meantime, once you get those certifications, you can go ahead and talk to other people throughout your campus and see, if there are any other job fairs or anything like that your company's doing, or see what other companies are providing out there for you. You can go to your city, county website, or even state website to see what kind of job fairs that there are, because once you have certifications and some experience in any IT related field with a little bit of security expertise in that area, it doesn't have to be anything too crazy, but as long as you have some IT background and you're working towards these certifications, once you go to these job fairs, you will definitely have a better chance of, speaking to the managers and seeing what type of roles that they have for you. So the second thing, is basically go to job fairs, go and see what is out there, because that helped me tremendously with all of that. Now, as I've been with the company for about 4.5 years, almost 5 years, they've been pretty good to me. I didn't get the $120,000 a year salary off the bat. So I had to basically work. When I initially worked for them, I ended up getting $80,000 a year, and then I worked my way up all the way to $120,000 per year. Now, if you're sitting here saying, okay, well, I'm trying to get, some sort of experience in security, don't worry. I went ahead and posted a bunch of other videos on my YouTube channel that you can go ahead and check out that will guide you on kind of what cybersecurity is and what people do. If you're still having a hard time within the commercial space, I would suggest, kind of going to companies that deal with government contracting as well, because you can get into those companies and get a security clearance and go ahead and bump your pay drastically by 40 to 50,000 as well. And as long as they see that, you're coachable, you can learn and apply your knowledge and stuff like that, and you're willing and able to learn, they will definitely hire you within a heartbeat. Because when I did my interview with the current company that I'm at now, they basically were asking me like, oh, okay, do you know HPSS, or do you know Splunk, or do you know Tenable security tools? I was like, well, I know some of them, I know the concepts of them, but I don't have that much experience with those tools. I told them that, hey, I'm willing to learn. They liked my response. And the other tip I have too is that basically go ahead and try to tailor your resume to a specific job that you're applying to. You don't have to do this for every single job that you're doing, because that could be very taxing, and you're gonna have like thousands of different resumes to tie to a specific career field. I didn't know what type of cybersecurity career field I was getting into. Realistically, I just fell into the first position that I got into, and then when I got into this job, I ended up learning as I went. And there are so many different outlets that you can go ahead within this career field. So while it's good that you should be thinking about kind of what type of cybersecurity job you want to do, when you're getting into your first cybersecurity job, I would not try to be too picky with what career field you're wanting to go into. You can go ahead and research the jobs that interest you, but if there's a cybersecurity position that you are able to get into, I would snag that up in a heartbeat so that you can get experience on your resume. And then once you go apply for the real position that you want to go ahead and do, you can go ahead and go for it, or move within your company depending on what you want to do, right? Those are my main tips, and that's kind of like my backstory on how I got into my career field. And I'm only 27, so it's definitely possible to go ahead and make $120,000 plus in this career field at such a young age. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and please let me know what type of cybersecurity job you're trying to get into, and if you're trying to learn skills that will help you get into the cybersecurity career field. I went ahead and created a Udemy course that talks about Splunk. That is a centralized logging mechanism that is used heavily throughout the whole industry. And if you know that will better your chances down there. So I'll put all that in the description below, and you can go ahead and check that out. It's only like 12 or 20 bucks at most on Udemy. I wanted to go ahead and make it cheap so that your education doesn't have to be super expensive, and you can go ahead and learn a very valuable skill. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I'll see y'all in the next one.